Good evening and welcome to this evening's special news report. I'm Jo Leaper.
And I'm Ben Donaldson. Our top story for the evening, a teenager caught texting during a main meeting was today mauled by a tiger. We cross live now to Angelina in the field at the scene of the tiger attack. Angelina, can you tell us exactly what it was that provoked the tiger to attack the teenager?
Thank you, Ben and Jo. I am here in the field. You can even see the tiger behind me. It is difficult to say what provoked such a malicious attack from the tiger, but all signs point to the tiger's annoyance at the texting and general phone usage of the teenager whilst he was trying to speak. In an ironic twist of events, the tiger attack was actually captured by the camera of the youth's phone. Sensitive viewers may wish to turn away at this stage, as footage from the decapitated youth's phone may disturb. Harrowing footage. This reporter is only left to assume that texting at inappropriate times will lead to large cat attacks and loss of limbs. Back to you in the studio, Ben and Jo.
Thank you, Angelina. Now in separate news, a youth caught entering another youth's bedroom met with an unexpected surprise. The footage that follows shows the event as it unfolds.
In the more minor stories of the week, in the build-up to Thanksgiving, one family forgets to inform their leaders of an emergency and almost find themselves burnt to a crisp.
How do you get this out?
No, don't fan it! Don't fan it!
Eat the turkey!
Listen!
Kelly, get out of there!
Get away! Get away!
Kelly!
Take the
No!
Wait!
Kelly, stop it! Put it back!
Kelly!
In other news, a youth found straying outside the bounds of Letton Hall got more than they bargained for.
We cross now to Maya Roberts with our special news story of the week. Over to you, Maya.
Thank you, Jo and Ben. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, and now, purpling. This new craze has gone to epic proportions. But what exactly is purpling? How can we identify it? How can the trends be reversed? And do we need to be afraid? I met earlier in the week with an expert on purpling, Dr. Horder, and here's what he had to say. I have here today Professor Horder from the Romance Academy. Thank you so much for joining us, Professor Horder.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Professor Horder, you're an expert in the field of purpling. Tell us exactly, what is purpling?
Well, scientifically, it's when someone with two X chromosomes is interacting with someone with an X and a Y chromosome. That is, to the ordinary person, a girl interacting with a guy, or vice versa, in an inappropriate context. Interestingly enough, Maya, the etymology of the word purpling has its origins back in Babylonia. That was when the two colours which were associated with the male and female. So, you know, the male, very much the colour associated with the guy was blue. And, you know, we had a piece of cellophane here. Here's one I prepared earlier, and this is the blue one for the boy. And also I've got one over here, which is the pink one, or even slightly red for the girls. And if we combine the two, and one behind the other, and we shine some monochromatic light through them, we get this purpling effect, and that is essentially where the etymology of purpling comes from.
So, can you give us specific examples of what purpling is and how we can avoid it?
Sure, well, the classic example of purpling is when two separate parties' lips occupy the same point of space at the same point of time, and we know that generically speaking as kissing, and that must be avoided. Also, any sort of contact physically between two members of the opposite sex in a close environment would also count as purpling. Well, fortunately, there are some very easy ways for us to avoid purpling, and one of those would be for boys not to go into girls' rooms and vice versa. And fortunately, we have developed partition in the house such that all the girls' accommodation will be on the first floor. So there's no reason for a girl with two X chromosomes to find themselves on the second floor, and there is no reason for a guy to find himself on the first floor. In fact, when purpling happens, the consequences are most severe. And at the Romance Academy, us professors, we like to analyse the classic case of, in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, when purpling went severely wrong, and this is what happened. And we really don't want it happening to anyone here, so please do avoid it, because the consequences are quite severe. Yes.
Dr. Horder from the Romance Academy, thank you for your time. That was Dr. Horder, expert in purpling. Since filming, one youth's life has been claimed by purpling. Here we have the CCTV footage of the horrific accident. Purplers beware, the consequences are high. I'm Maya Roberts, reporting for HT News.
I was Maya Roberts there, reporting from Romance Academy.
We have now come to the end of our news. I leave you with the news that those youth who keep the house tidy will be highly favoured. And that those who listen to their leaders will achieve great things. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for tonight. Thank you and good night.